So what I want to talk to you about today is the fact that all followers are not created equal. So this was just kind of sparked by, there's a wonderful person in this group who just asked me if I would follow him back on a platform. And so I want to talk a little bit about how having the wrong followers or having just any followers is probably the worst thing that you can do for your social media accounts and for the algorithm itself. So let's kind of start from the very beginning. It's not about the fact that you need more followers. You don't need more followers. You need the correct followers. You need the relevant followers. If you have read the Listings Lab guide and you're in here, so you should have read it already. But if you have, then you know the importance of relevancy. So having just any followers, this is going to affect you in the algorithm. So here's how it happens, right? So when you post something on social media, I'll use Instagram as an example. So if you post something on Instagram, what happens is Instagram's only going to show that piece of content to 10% of your followers. If your followers react to it, like, comment, save, share, then and only then will the next 10% get to actually see your content, right? So it's kind of like a sliding scale. So what happens if you don't have the correct followers, that you have a whole bunch of irrelevant followers that aren't wanting to work with you, or who are a whole bunch of followers from India, which is why I always tell people, don't buy followers. It actually hurts your business more than it helps. So here's what we want to understand with all of this. Instagram's going to show 10% of your followers your content. If that content's not relevant to those followers, what are they going to do? They're going to scroll by. And so then what happens? Your piece of content doesn't get liked, it doesn't get commented on, it doesn't get saved, it doesn't get shared. And then from 10%, that piece of content dies. But if you have fewer followers that are highly relevant followers, then what happens? It continues to get picked up, and more people are actually going to see that piece of content instead of that piece of content dying. So that's super, super important to remember. It's not about how many followers we have. The number of followers obviously helps, of course, because it makes us feel good and it provides an element of social proof. But it's not actually helping you or helping your business. So don't buy followers. Make sure that, the people who are actually following you, if you're going out there and you're using the platforms to actually try to generate more eyes on your content, more eyes on your profile, all of the above, it's really, really important to remember that it's not about the numbers. The numbers are, we call it social proof or things like that. And yes, it does provide a little bit of social proof, but these are vanity metrics. These are things that make us feel good, right? That make us feel like we've made it. But at the end of the day, if your followers aren't relevant, then what's happening is your content's dying and you're actually not reaching the people who you actually want to be reaching. So if your followers are highly relevant and they're local, they are following you for the right reasons, and all of these things, then that's when your content will continue to get picked up. That's when your content will get shown to the people that you want it to get shown to, and it will actually impact people and bring them to you in your business, as long as your content is good, right? So keep that in mind. It's not about the number of followers. It's actually more about the quality of the followers that you have. I go through my account on a regular basis, especially on Instagram, and I actually block people who are following me if they look like they're not real accounts, or they look like they're not real estate related or whatever, because it's so important to me that my content gets in front of the right people. And I would rather have fewer followers than have a whole bunch more followers. It's not about having 100,000 followers. It's about having the curated group of followers who are going to interact with my content, who are going to appreciate my content, and who are the right target demographic for my content. So think about that as well when you're creating anything. Make sure that you're creating content that's targeted and that's not just kind of randomly willy-nilly speaking to everyone, but make sure that you are specifically curating and specifically going after the right followers. And so the last thing that you ever want is to play that follow for follow game, right? So if somebody follows you, if you look at their account and they're in Georgia and you're in New York, don't follow them back, because that's not actually beneficial for your business. That's not actually getting your content, especially if it's real estate related content, in front of the right people. So keep that in mind. You want to grow a local community when you're talking about your social media accounts.